our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Oh, and Merry Christmas. There's that too. It is, or actually, I would prefer to say Happy Holidays because just out of respect, man. Not everybody's doing Christmas, but it is the holidays, and I hope everybody's doing well. It is what, Monday, right? So we should probably act like it's Monday. Sure, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm going over to my sister's, and I'm going to do what I can to make it, better for everybody. Hi, Amber. Good to see you. I wasn't sure if you were going to be able to join. I know that you are. Seems like I was going to. Yeah, one more right there. And I want to share it to what's up. We want to talk a little bit about empathy. I've always had a very deep empathy. And then, yay, I have good timing. About time. Sometimes I look at a situation and see something going on with somebody, and it can really hurt me to my soul. Because it isn't just that I'm feeling their feelings, it's that I've been there before and it brings me back. I don't always like my empathy. Sometimes it really, really messes with me. It can bring me down some days. So I have to be careful. All right, let's kind of get started. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am going to be your host. I don't know how many people saw the post that I put out, but this year I'm going to try and commit to coming on at 11 o'clock. Okay, do not hold me to that, or you'll just piss me off. But I'm trying to be more consistent. Trevor, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I hope you've been doing well. And then what I'd like to do is have other hosts on with me this year. I've had a lot of people say that they want to do it, but there usually isn't much follow through because of my inconsistency. That's part of it. Okay. So it isn't just on them, it's on me. It's a dual thing. So I'm going to try and appease people here with that so that we can try and reach more people. All right, let's get started with today's Life is Not a Dead End. We're going to be hearing plenty of the daily reflection from our meetings today. So I figured, and I'm glad today's Christmas because I'm tired of the topic being how to get through the holidays. I'm sorry, but I don't need to hear it every meeting. We're going to be reading out of the 12 by 12, page 106. Step 12. Huh. Not a surprise. I just can't get away from step 12 this month, no matter what I do. All right, we're just going to go ahead and I'm just going to start at the beginning. Okay. So refreshing. Yeah. You guys remember when after you quit drinking, I don't know if this happened to anybody else, but I noticed that like cold drinks, they tasted different. They went down different. It was a different pleasure. They're weird, right? Um, I guess my body had forgotten what that was like. What that was like. Hey, Gary, Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. All right. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to people and to practice these principles in all our affairs. The joy of living is the theme of AA's 12th step, and action is the key word. We've done all that. We've done all this stuff. Now we are just in a matter of action. Okay, and we have to have action going for each day. Okay. Otherwise, we are resting on our laurels. Here we turn outward toward our fellow alcoholics who are still in distress. Here we experience the kind of giving that asks no rewards. Here we begin to practice all 12 steps of the program in our daily lives so that we and those about us may find emotional sobriety. Okay. Yesterday, we talked about time. And I talked about how you will see a lot of people with a lot of time go out. Okay. It is because they failed on their emotional sobriety. Emotional sobriety really didn't start taking traction till about 10 years ago. It was written in 1955. Okay. Read it up, look it up. The Last Frontier, emotional sobriety. Okay. When the 12th step is seen in its full implication, okay, implication takes action. It is really talking about the kind of love that has no price tag on it, which is to say emotional sobriety. Emotional sobriety means that we no longer use other people for our demands to make us feel better, to do things for us. Okay, we can now take care of these things ourselves because we have introduced a power greater than ourselves to our lives. Our 12th step also says that as a result of practicing all the steps, we have found something called a spiritual awakening. To new AAs, this often seems like a very dubious and improbable state of affairs. What do you mean when you talk about a spiritual awakening? They ask. I had my spiritual awakening. I've had more than one. Okay. I have spiritual experiences every single day. Okay. Because I live in God's world. Okay? I live in God's world, and my one job is to make it better. That's my one job. That's it. Maybe there's many definitions of a spiritual awakening as there are people who've had them. Yeah. Okay. God is everything. You have different needs than me. He's going to probably give you a different spiritual experience. Okay. It's personal. It is very personal. But certainly each genuine one has something in common with all the others. And these things which they have in common are not too hard to understand. When a man or a woman has a spiritual awakening, the most important meaning of it is that he has now become able to do, feel, and believe, which he could not do before on his unaided strength and resources alone. That's right. I couldn't do this myself. There's no way, right? And you get to a point, where you really wouldn't want it any other way. I don't want to do stuff alone, you know. Kind of like I'm going to be going down and putting these flyers out I came up with a great way to do it. I had a good talk with my therapist. Maybe I'll talk about that at the end, though. Okay. He is granted a gift which amounts to a new state of consciousness and being. That would be your soul. That's my soul that they're talking about. There was a fight for my soul. God won. God always wins. Okay? He always wins. He has been set on a path which tells him he is really going somewhere. Yep, I'm told every day that I'm really going somewhere. God will give me signs that I am doing the right thing. Okay. And here it is. In a very real sense, he has been transformed because he has laid hold of a source of strength, which, in one way or another, he had hereto denied himself. I am the only person that keeps me away from God. Nobody else does it. Okay. I might allow other people. Okay. That goes back to emotional sobriety, taking responsibility for our own emotions, which is to say, mostly our anger. Okay. Got to be responsible for it. Are people dicks? Yes. So what? I was one at one point, and people in my life sure showed me a lot of patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love. Yeah. Probably about my turn to give it back. I'm thinking. He finds himself in the possession of a degree of honesty, tolerance, unselfishness, peace of mind, and love of which he had thought himself quite incapable. I did. I didn't think I was ever going to be able to do it. I didn't think I was ever going to get to a place where, and this ties in really well, where um, you just got to let people be people, man. There's, there's not much that I can do about that. So I need to possess my own degree of honesty, tolerance, unselfishness, peace of mind, and love, which I thought I was incapable. Okay. If I'm going to love God's children, then I've got to do it unconditionally. And that means I don't get to judge. Okay. And I can be really fucking judgy. I can. I can be really judgy. All right. What he has received is a free gift. I worked for it. You worked for it. Give yourself a little bit of progress support there, okay? Is it free in the sense that it didn't cost you any money? Yes. But you did some work, okay? All right. And usually, at least in some small part, he has made himself ready to receive it. That's what you did, okay? When you cleared away your wreckage of the past, that means doing your fourth and your fifth step, understanding that there were causes and conditions that went along with this resentment. Then you decided, I'm going to take all those defects of character and I'm going to give them to God. Are they gone? No. But I am going to work towards his perfection to try and get rid of these things. In 8 and 9, we create justice. We create our own justice by going to people and saying, hey, what I did was wrong. I don't do that stuff anymore. Not forgiveness, justice. Has somebody ever made an amend to you? Didn't you feel justice? You didn't feel forgiveness. You felt qualified. That is justice. Then you continue to take personal inventory on a daily basis. So, at least in some small part, you made yourself ready to receive this great, wonderful free gift, which is spiritual awareness. Okay. So, the other day I was talking about how I was having a hard time about going to some of these clubs. Okay. And I no longer have that fear. Okay, I've done some talking. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to approach and do what Dion does best: camaraderie, healing. I'm not going to walk in and just say, hey, can I hang this up? Is that okay? No, I'm going to walk in and say, okay, who runs this? Okay. I'd like to talk to you because I have plenty of room over here. And if you'd like to do events too, I'd like to help you out. Aren't we supposed to be working together? So I'm going to go to these clubs. I'm going to say, I have something neat over here. And I'd like it if we could all join forces up here on the north side and we can all do things together. That way you can have your dances. You guys can make your money too, because we need you over there. All right. AA's manner of making ready to receive this gift lies in the practice of the 12 steps of the program. So let's consider briefly what we have been trying to do up to this point. This is a long one. Okay. I have to be somewhere at one. Step one showed us an amazing paradox. We found that we were totally unable to be rid of alcohol obsession until we first admitted that we're powerless over alcohol. I'm going to read this one kind of fast. In step two, we saw that since we could not restore ourselves to sanity, some higher power must necessarily do so if we were to survive. Consequently, in step three, we turned our will and our lives over to God as we understood Him. For the time being, who were atheists or agnostic discovered that our own group, or AA as a whole, would suffice as a higher power. Beginning with step four, we commenced to search out the things in ourselves which had brought us to physical, moral, and spiritual bankruptcy. We made a searching and fearless moral inventory. Looking up at step five, we decided that an inventory taken alone wouldn't be enough. We knew we'd have to quit the deadly business of living alone with our conflicts and in honesty confide these to God and to another human being. Whew. All right. Yeah, I'm skipping this paragraph. Okay. I'm not going to say anything on it, so I'm just going to go to the next paragraph. I just don't want to waste everybody's time. Okay. So, practicing these steps, we had a spiritual awakening about which we finally, there was no question. It just became a matter of fact. And you know what that fact is? That you are a recovered alcoholic. Yeah. That's the freaking miracle. That's the miracle of it. We become recovered. I'm a recovered alcoholic. Okay. I've done the work today to be recovered. Tomorrow, when I wake up, I will not be recovered. I will need to do the work to stay recovered. Okay. 10 and 11 and 12. People, you have got to take 10, 11, and 12 seriously, or you're going to be right in the second, fourth step. I hear people 20 years with resentments. No. Dumping at meetings. No. Gross. Don't do that. Okay. Looking at those who were only beginning and still doubted themselves, the rest of us were able to see the change setting in. From great numbers of such experiences, we could predict that the doubter who still claimed that he hadn't gotten the spiritual angle and who still considered his well-loved AA group the higher power would presently love God and call him by name. I love AA, right? So what are they saying there? We have a lot of people come in with different various higher powers. I had one sponsor, his higher power was love. Okay. And we would say love instead of God, higher power. That's what I did for him. But guess what? He calls him God now. See, the thing is about conformity into that. Okay. Now, do I believe in a God that you believe in? No, it's a name only. Okay. So it's a name only. Yeah, I gotta get going too. So thank you everybody for being here. Amber, Gary, Trevor, good to have y'all. I hope you all have a great and safe holiday. I love you. Peace out.